100 delegates from 100 countries. And if you are part of the Youth Assembly, please make yourself heard and clap now.
My great time joining this session, and let me immediately suggest something. Have your phones ready. Don't push it away, don't switch it off. You and me. I'm going to suggest some kind of Q&A. Now, going into the topic you have suggested. When we developed the SDGs, we gave 15 years to ourselves. The objective was to change the trajectory of our development for more sustainable migration and to prevent various forms of breakdown, moving on the line, as we just heard, on the quotation from the state. And shortly after, we agreed on a working program for financing sustainable development, the Paris Agreement to keep climate change under control, a standby framework to prevent the worst-case scenarios, disasters, and later the multi-million protocol may say that huge changes happened in the past as well, say after the industrialization. Yes, that is true. But let's remind ourselves that with the machines coming in, with the industrial revolution, one or two technical novelties were introduced, and the rest just happened to us. The social, environmental, political, economic consequences. And we later try to understand what happened. Now we try to figure out a system that would make more promising for all countries. In short, we wanted a good situation. Where are we now within our question about goals and commitments? Mostly often. But let me come back to this point. Before that, a word about the mission of your generation and the people of your age. Do you know what was the median age of the team in charge for the Apollo program? One of the most ambitious programs ever undertaken. Yes? 45? 45? Okay, any other guess? It was 28 years. It roughly is the average age of yours here in this room. What about you? Why are you here today? So now it's time to change the force. Please take out your cell phones and answer the codes you see on the screen. And answer the first question. For those of you who may not see the screen clearly, it is www.energy.com. And the code 81638717. For those who are following us through the internet, they can push or do it. They can join and they can send their answers. Same way. Okay, can we go for the first question? So please answer let's two words. Why are you here today? Describe your reason of attending this event. We are always waiting for things. In order not to lose too much time, there will be other questions. Let's go along. As you see, from the very beginning, the most favorable answers were learn, change, and climate. It's fine. I'm very proud of you. You will have more life. Now let's go to the next question. What are the biggest obstacles in the way of achieving sustainable development, justice, and prosperity in your country and in your region? You have 10 options here. Distribute 100 points among those options. You may give all the 100 to one, or you can distribute it any other proportion you deem more appropriate. We are approaching 300. I think we can stop here. From the very outset, the first reason you saw in your countries and your regions what was preventing the transformation to sustainable development was government. And the second comes very, very strongly destroying inequalities. As you within and among countries both and lack of solidarity. So maybe in the indication where should be abolished, what should be the task number 1, 2, and 3 when you go home. I said that I would come back to the implementation. So we make out of the available data what we have for the implementation. And mind you, in percentage terms, the implementation rate at halfway time is between 12 and 19%. And on some targets, we are actually better, but further away from the goals than the rate. So it's halfway mark. The world is facing multiple crises, threatening life, livelihoods, illness, conflicts, food and energy security, unfolding climate change, food crises, pollution, and biodiversity loss. Which you all know very well from these factors. That are not only approaching us, but they are also reinforcing. With the SDG summit, which is weeks away, it is time that all of us in your mission, all of us in the United Nations, and all of us around this globe to get united for action. Start improving these things. What is at stake? First and foremost, our development, our well-being, our stability, security, and the predictable future of our civilization as we know it. You may know that future must be sustainable, or there will be no future, at least not for all of us. What is still at stake? The key conditions of life. Whatever we do or not do, we fail to do in the forthcoming 7 to 10 years, will create conditions that will predetermine very much the conditions of life on this earth in the forthcoming 50 to 100 years. You are living in historic 10 years. your decisions will be historic decisions. So the SDG summit will be crucial. Crucial to recommit ourselves to the necessary transformation. Crucial to prove the credibility of our commitment, despite the fact that the first 7 years were not the most successful ones. And crucial to guide us for the next 7 years. I know it's bold, but I'm absolutely sure, convinced that it is still doable. Science is showing us the consequences of our actions or inactions. Science is showing us we need to change our habits, to transform the way we produce, use, and preserve. In the General Assembly, we are bringing evidence and data into our discussions, so we can back up what we say and validate what we do. I plead to you as young leaders, I urge you to use all scientific tools you can to make informed decisions that will point us in the direction of sustainability and transformation. Here is time for the third question. Please get your phones. So, what are your actions for sustainability transformation? Your personal actions. What are you going to do, or what are you doing now? Pick two out of this 6 or 8 choices. Pick two. The most important, what you're doing now. And I wonder how many will be in the action yet. We are at the level of 300. It's quite visible that your actions cover a very, very broad range of varieties, and those who found it still the time not ready for doing something concrete on your behalf, you may wish to do the next steps. Advocacy, spreading the message, is obviously taking the first place. Please carry it. Be very curious. I encourage you to stay curious, cultivate understanding, and keep asking questions. You know that with the knowledge level of the yesterday, it will be difficult to construct a transformative thinking. To make this point, I'd like to share with you a story about the Bell Laboratories. It is the research of the 1880s, started by Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone. With 9 Nobel Prizes awards for groundbreaking results, the Bell Labs became known as the idea factory. Bell Labs managers actually wanted to know why some of their engineers are more productive or creative than others. They couldn't understand the other victims of something inevitable, forces beyond our control. I know the time short, but it is not the case. It is the embrace. And we are not toolkit. We cannot be. We can still curb climate change, restore much of the natural wealth around our planet, and we can make our world more just, more inclusive, more stable. And you know that it will not happen. It can only happen upon our designs and executing programs. Never forget that you are the part of the justice. You are the game changers. Your generation is the game changer. And you are the best chance for the world.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, and young leaders from around the world, I stand before you today with great enthusiasm and hope as we gather here to celebrate International Youth Day 2023. This occasion is not merely a commemoration, it is a call to action. A call for us to recognize the untapped potential of our greatest resource, youth. Our planet faces unprecedented challenges, the urgent and ever-growing threat of climate change, especially for small island states and small island developing states, the loss of biodiversity, the depletion of our natural resources, growing inequalities and conflict. Vulnerable regions face escalating risks of displacement, resource scarcity, and social unrest, undermining international peace and security. However, in this daunting challenge lies an opportunity for young people to spearhead the global response and build forward better. As the Secretary-General Gutierrez rightly pointed out, humanity faces a critical choice: breakdown or breakthrough. Our choices today will shape the future, either perpetuating crises or paving the way for a better world. In this pursuit, we draw inspiration from the vision and the passion of our youth, who have risen as a powerful force for change, mobilizing movements and demanding accountability from those in power. We must heed their voices and support their endeavors, for they hold the keys to unlocking solutions that will drive us towards a sustainable future. To the youth assembled here today, I say, your passion, your ideas, and your actions will shape the course of history. You are not just the hope for the future, you are the catalyst for change today. Malta stands firmly with you, ready to support and amplify your efforts as you chart a course towards a sustainable world. As we stand at the crossroads of a rapidly evolving world, it is essential to ensure that the human rights of youth are not only protected, but also actively promoted, including the right to education, health, decent work, and a safe environment free from discrimination, violence, and exploitation. We also need to better address the specific challenges faced by marginalized and vulnerable youth, including those with disabilities, LGBTIQ+ persons, and those affected by conflict and humanitarian crisis. Investing in youth education, skills development, and meaningful engagement is imperative, including integrating sustainability into educational curricula and fostering hands-on lifelong learning experiences. Access to information technology and resources is vital for nurturing youth-led innovation and entrepreneurship. Moreover, we must create platforms for meaningful youth participation in decision-making processes at all levels. This includes amplifying youth engagement at the UN, including the Security Council, particularly in addressing the crucial intersection of climate change, development, and security. Empowering youth as agents of change is a crucial component of achieving our global goals set in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We must also ensure that the upcoming SDG Summit translates our aspirations into sustainable solutions for all, including youth, by leaving no one behind. Today, we are proud to join hands with AFS Intercultural Programs and the UN Department for Global Communications. Let us make this International Youth Day a milestone in our collective pursuits for sustainability, leaving a legacy of hope and prosperity for generations to come. I thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Margaret Nasser, Director of the Outreach Division of the UN Department of Global Communications.
The proposition of the United Nations in the relatively young history of humans on Earth, which is 160,000 years, is that states can get things done better and more effectively by working together. Something we call multilateralism. I think that applies to societies at large. You can achieve things by working together, collaborating together, and fighting. That applies to generations. That applies to different generations today that may see things differently, but unless we work across generational lines, we will not be able to overcome the challenges that we're facing. And you've heard enough about those from Delegates, Americans, Ambassador Paul, going from climate change, climate crisis that we have, to the triple environmental crisis impacting the Earth, pollution, also biodiversity, and of course changing climate. To rising conflict, there are more conflicts, political tensions across the world. We have seen the pandemic. The thing we are not with actually today, two of my colleagues came down positive, and we see that there's COVID. We think that COVID is behind us. It's not. Pandemics are still going to be around, and we have to be more and more careful. And that's why I think we were talking before this meeting. Three of the 8 summits that are taking place in the high-level week are related to health, because health is one of the core issues that we need to work together to overcome. But if you look at the problems that we're facing, there's much more at stake for young people than it is for my generation, or even your parents' generation, because we have less left on this planet than you do. And if you look at what the marketing surveys are showing, and you can see on the streets, whether it's COP27 or COP26, who were there outside demonstrating and demanding action? It was young people. Because young people are demanding of leaders to really implement what they themselves have advocated. When I talk about leaders and your role, and you have identified in the 90-meter last question the things that you think you can do and want to do. I think the top 3 were learning more. And I think learning more is very important because you cannot base what you do on misinformation and disinformation. And we now live in the age of disinformation. And the second one it shows is the highest one actually was raising awareness in society and people around you. And the third one was advocacy. And advocacy is the one I want to focus on. We have a campaign called Act Now, which is encouraging people to reflect on individual actions, what they themselves can do to change their impact on climate, impact on sustainability, impact on pollution, impact on what my view, my humble view, is that the most important one of those is advocacy. Because individual actions can go that far, but eventually things have to change at the level of regulation that forces companies to change the way they are behaving. And we have a success story in the United Nations. You're too young, most of you, to know of the panic and fear and concern in the early 1980s from the ozone layer. The ozone layer depletion was at the time seen as something that's going to really destroy humanity because we are completing the thing that is protecting us from ultraviolet rays and the overall impact of skin cancer. But Montreal protocols supervised and brought together by the United Nations, member states agreed and adopted regulations that industry abided to. And today we are looking at and we see that the ozone layer is weakening. The whole stop growing, it is actually becoming small. So we know that we can do it. And it has to be leadership across all sectors of society. Leaders that include private sector companies. And you have a role to play in that. Marketing companies do a lot of research, and many of the outcomes from young people indicate that people are more, 78% of respondents to a survey by Dentsu and Microsoft indicated that they're willing in the next 5 years to change their spending behavior to align with companies that actually show commitment to the sustainability. Because I think the more awareness there is, the more we talk about advocacy and your role, but not only your role in what you do individually. It has to be your role in impacting decisions by leaders. It might be short term because they want to be elected or because they want to satisfy the profit needs of their investors. I think that short-termism needs to come to an end. I think younger people, maybe you need to think more into long-term than older generations who will be there. We will be there with you. I have been, in this month, it's my 37th year working for the United Nations. People working in the UN in New York. There are 150,000 people working for the United Nations. Many of them are working in countries where you come. I heard that you are coming from 100 countries. We have colleagues working to work with governments, local and national, in implementing, developing, and guiding development in protecting and advocating for human rights, in defending and trying to work with refugees and asylum seekers. And we live in a world where more than 100 million people today are displaced, the highest number ever. And the UNHCR is an agency that is working with that. And to me, the UN, actually, my first encounter with the UN was not in this building or learning about the UN or doing all the United Nations. As a child of Palestine refugees, I went to school run by the United Nations, an agency called UNRWA in the West Bank, in Gaza, in Jordan, in Syria. I have a high work on the West Bank. And for me, that is the UN, that is delivering services to refugees and helping them find their footing in life. I think when you think of the UN, it's not just the ideals that we represent, it's also the actions that we lead in different parts of the world. Is it always a success? Absolutely not. When member states agree, the UN succeeds. When member states do not agree, the UN does not succeed. And we have seen multiple areas, multiple cases where that has happened. Now, when you look at this picture and you look at the SDG achievements, you might think that it is bad news. It is. But how many of you know of a football game, Soccer for Americans? Or basketball was lost in the first half. No team loses in the first half. We're at the half time. So this is now the time for the coach, and hopefully the SDG Summit will be the time when the leaders get together and say, look, this is the time we turn the tide. Team, tie your laces, spit it up, and let's get back to action. This is the time to change the winning team. And that winning team needs to be you, because you are the future. Thank you.
For reminding us that we have to win. We greatly appreciate the support of you and your team at the Department of Global Communications. Now, I would like to welcome the Honorable Ms. Gabriela Ramos, Assistant Director General for Social and Human Sciences at UNESCO, with her video remarks.
Dear young leaders and change makers, it is a pleasure to be with you for this Youth Assembly ahead of International Youth Day tomorrow. Our assembly today is an aptly themed breakthrough to a better future. The global efforts to ensure young people enjoy healthy and dynamic lives have been really impacted by an unprecedented pandemic and a series of intersecting crises, from climate change to the war in Ukraine, discrimination, misinformation, inequalities, and the shrinking civic space. These challenges are having a profound impact on everybody, but particularly on young people. The world has become successively less peaceful each year since 2014, and some of the global index have to signal how much there have been deterioration. While intergenerational and intercultural dialogue support conflict prevention and sustainable peace, youth are often left out of these conversations on account of their age and perceived lack of experience. But young people have proven time and time again that they decidedly contribute to peace building in the communities and societies they live in. Let's take the example of youth civic engagement. Young people are increasingly mobilizing for change, as we saw during the pandemic. 7% of young people belonging to the Generation Z are involved in a social or political cause. These actions are making a difference and contribute to a climate of inclusion and justice across the world. At UNESCO, we are convinced that young people engagement at all levels of decision-making and community building is essential for creating and impactful solutions and contemporary challenges. To ensure youth engagement, UNESCO promotes and accompanies youth-led action. For example, at the request of young people, UNESCO launched the Global Youth Grant Scheme to support youth-led projects with social impact through different grants, with capacity building and mentoring. UNESCO also accompanies youth-led networks such as the UNESCO Youth Climate Action Network, the UCAN, which connects youth climate networks worldwide to strengthen cooperation and support youth-led climate actions and research. We know that youth-led solutions are key to advancing sustainable solutions. In some countries, youth make half of the population. How can we spare those contributions? And one such solutions lies with the intercultural dialogue. UNESCO and the AFS Intercultural Program work together on the successful Story Circles project, aimed at building intercultural skills such as empathy, listening, understanding, all of these to help individuals and communities to engage more effectively in processes of dialogue. These and many other initiatives are in line with the ASS Intercultural Program's important vision to promote active citizenship education among youth, introducing them to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and equipping them with knowledge and skills to work together to help advance these goals in their communities. We must continue building on the incredible path set forward by each and every one of you in the Assembly today, and young people across the world. At UNESCO, we will continue joining forces with UN agencies, governments, youth organizations, and the private sector to ensure that youth can fully participate in societies and make the difference. Thank you.
Pleasure to hear from you. Now, it is an honor to welcome Ms. Wendy Kopp, CEO and co-founder for Teach for All, with her keynote address. Ms. Kopp.
practice and shifting culture. This takes a lot of people power, a lot of collaboration and learning, and a lot of time. In short, it takes what we have come to call collective leadership, diverse people throughout ecosystems exercising agency and leadership for shared purpose, collaborating and working together. What makes me confident that the threats and challenges we face as a society are solvable is that across the Teach for All network, I've seen dramatic progress in addressing the fact that the circumstances of children's birth predict their outcomes. These are circumstances that most view as completely intractable. And yet I've seen that enough leadership throughout the whole ecosystem around children can meaningfully change outcomes, not only in single classrooms or schools, but across whole communities. And beyond the work across our network, I've seen that anyone who really immerses themselves in tackling problems that others are observing from afar comes to the same conclusion. I still remember listening to Mohammed Yunus accept the Nobel Peace Prize, and I remember exactly what he said. It struck me so much. He said, "I firmly believe that we can create a poverty-free world." It struck me because before I listened to him, I would have said that poverty is impossible to solve. So we can solve the challenges we face, but it takes the full-on energy and leadership of a lot of people. We won't get there with a lot of people advocating and raising their voices alone. We need people in the arena, working in our most marginalized communities, taking the issues on with their time and their energy. This is why we can look at the career choices of leaders of your generation and know what trajectory our world is going to be on in a few years. Will your generation tackle the entrenched systemic inequities that persist in every sector of the world? Will you put your time and energy towards helping to make the crucial transitions in the world's energy, transportation, and food systems in order to ensure the sustainability of the planet? Will you work towards fostering peace in areas of conflict? There's so much potential. Your generation is more committed to diversity, equity, inclusiveness, justice, sustainability than any that have come before, and you're more aware of the threats of all of those things. But so far, your generation's career choices look extremely similar to those of generations that have come before. Many in your generation continue to see their jobs as a means to an end, as a source of resources and relationships that will enable their personal well-being and enable them to be advocates and maybe someday philanthropists later on. And if we're going to address the massive issues facing people and the planet, we need the most promising leaders in your generation, like the full focus on them. We need you to choose jobs that enable you to align all your professional energy with your values. Jobs that are in and of themselves a path to fulfillment and well-being. I know I'm preaching to the converted here. Most of you all are already leading the way, and you're putting your energy towards addressing the issues we are most about. But nonetheless, I want to talk with you about what you can do and what we can all do together to build a broader movement among your generation to align your job choices with your values. On this International Day of Youth, let's consider how to generate an unstoppable movement that inspires and enables your generation to tackle the world's biggest threats and injustices with the invaluable resource of your time and energy. As we consider how to move towards each and every SDG, we will need to consider how to enlist the energy of the rising generation in tackling it. As you go through the coming few days, I hope you'll prioritize this question. How can also need to call on policymakers and civil society leaders to support young people to make these choices to undertake such important and intense work while cultivating well-being and mental health. We need serious discussions within NGOs and governments and social enterprises about how to enable people to do the hardest work society has to offer while also doing well. Above all, we will need to transform our school systems. We cannot expect today's students to rise up and lead to solve the massive challenges we face if we are educating them year on year as passive receptacles of information. We need to reorient the very purpose of school systems around the world towards developing students as leaders who can shape a better world for themselves and for all of us. We need to commit to developing students holistically and reshaping teaching and learning so that it fosters students' agency, their awareness of themselves and the systemic injustices around them, their connectedness to each other and the planet, their problem-solving and critical thinking skills, and their personal well-being. As you begin this youth assembly, I applaud each of you for your passion and your belief in your collective agency over the future of our planet and our global society. I'm sending you so much energy and good wishes for these days and years ahead as you take on the challenges, make the most of the opportunities, and work to magnetize your generation and those who will follow you to exercise the collective leadership necessary to realize all of our shared aspirations for peace, justice, and sustainability.
I want to also thank this panel of distinguished speakers and your excellencies for joining us today. On behalf of the youth in this room and those watching around the world, your support is sincerely appreciated. Thank you. I will now request Mr. Ali Mustafa, AFS is a cultural programs consultant on UN relations, to lead us into the main International Youth Day panel so we can hear from outstanding young people on the importance of green skills for our sustainable world. Please welcome Ali.
Thank you, Yilma, and thank you for all the distinguished speakers. I would like to welcome the youth panelists to the stage. Please welcome all of our youth panelists with your round of claps. His Excellency, the President of the General Assembly, distinguished guests, youth leaders present at the UN headquarters and those watching us online, greetings and welcome to the celebration of the International Youth Day 2023. Allow me to guide you through the historical timeline of the United Nations Advocacy for Youth. The journey began in 1965 when the General Assembly endorsed the Declaration promoting peace, understanding, and mutual respect among young people. In 1979, a resolution designated 1985 as the International Year of Youth. The main proposal for the International Youth Day was first tabled at the World Youth Forum in 1991, leading in the adoption of a resolution proclaiming August 12 as the International Youth Day, a resolution endorsed by the UN General Assembly in 1999. The advocacy continued with Ahmad Al-Andawi's appointment as the first ever envoy on youth from 2013 to 2017, during which he implemented key initiatives including the Youth Volunteer Program and UN System-Wide Action Plan on Youth. Jayatha Vikramayake succeeded him, taking up the position on June 20, 2017, making sure youth voices are heard and included. Since 1965, we, the youth, have achieved many milestones. We gather here in 2023 today. We celebrate not only the establishment of the first ever UN Youth Office dedicated to the empowerment and inclusion of youth. So congratulations to all the young people here that we are for the first time in 2023 are going to have the first ever office on the youth at the United Nations. Our efforts alignment with pressing need for environmental stewardship. This year's theme, Green Skills for Youth towards a sustainable world, echoes our collective commitment to nurturing the next generation with knowledge, abilities, and values required to build a sustainable and resource-efficient society. Together, we are shaping a future where every young person's potential is realized, where green skills empower youth to lead the transition towards a more sustainable world. In our lifetime, we are witnessing climate and environmental disasters such as the floods in South Asia that have taken hundreds of lives, left people homeless, and destroyed infrastructures. We experienced July 2023 as the hottest month on record, with global temperature rise of 1.5 degrees globally. The Horn of Africa has faced some of the worst drought conditions in history, leaving more than 20 million people facing acute food insecurity. More than 54 million people were affected by disaster linked to storms, droughts, wildfire, floods, and landslides in Africa. U.S. climate disaster losses exceeded $15 million in 2023 alone. We are witnessing mass migrations today that are linked with climate change. The disasters are leaving no corner of the globe untouched, impacting regions from global south to global north. It's imperative that we respond by empowering our youth, who make up nearly half of the world's population under the age of 34, a data that is derived from the World Bank. With green skills, these are the essential skills needed to confront and address these challenges. The time has come to translate our words into meaningful action for cultivation of green skills. As we proceed, we must be mindful to include marginalized and unprivileged youth in the process, prioritizing them as they are often the ones most acutely affected by these problems. Thank you. With that, I would like to introduce the First, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Hannah from UNICEF and Generation Unlimited.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and most importantly, youth, driving force behind today and tomorrow. As we convene on this International Youth Day, I want to take a moment and think about our mission, one of great importance and immense hope. It's about nurturing a generation that can illuminate our planet with vibrancy and green hope. Every heartbeat, every thought, every action of our youth is a testament to the potential of what our world can be. A beacon of change, they're the unsung heroes navigating the tumultuous waters of climate change. I'm Hannah Sachia, Global Youth Engagement and Entrepreneurship Lead for UNICEF's Generation Unlimited, public-private youth partnership platform. At UNICEF's Generation Unlimited, we're not just about vocal advocacy. We're prioritizing active listening and collaboration, building a world for and with young people. Now, imagine a world where every young people has the power to shape their destiny, not bound by geography, background, or challenges. This is a vision that our partnership, a unique fusion of public, private, and youth sectors, is moving towards. Our commitment is pretty ambitious, it's pretty audacious, connecting every young person to opportunities spanning employment, entrepreneurship, and societal impact, with a special lens on green. As a young youth engagement lead, I have the privilege of lending an ear to the aspirations and concerns of young people globally. Two truths echoing our voices: skills and representation. The essence of our green transition lies in green skills. Yet it's heartbreaking to witness 60% of youth stand at the cusp of change unprepared to steer it. They feel they don't have the right skills to be able to steer this. This is not a mere quest for academic knowledge. Young people aren't just about skills. It's a crusade for igniting passion, nurturing curiosity, fostering leadership, and instigating youth-led climate action. And then there's representation. The narrative of our future cannot exclude those who live it. Yet many young voices, especially those from marginalized communities, find themselves silenced. Can you really stand by as those voices rich of resilience and perspective remain stifled? We're privileged to be here today, yet a lot of young people that face climate change matters every day don't get to be here, don't get to bring their voices here. So recognizing these challenges, UNICEF and partners, through Generation Unlimited, are pioneering a three-pronged approach: empowerment, inclusion, and collaboration. We're nurturing change agents, whether it's through volunteer action, through a focus on green employment, green jobs, or green entrepreneurship. We're trying to breathe life into youth-led innovation. We're not just envisioning a green world, we're trying to actively build it with our young warriors. Through platforms such as COP27, we're also trying to champion the inclusion of young voices in decision-making tables where it matters, celebrating the first-time recognition of children as change agents was a victory last year, but the journey is very long, and I think we all recognize that. And then finally, collaboration. Our partnership approach is a testament of our dedication in merging climate truths with skilling reforms, working with organizations such as USAID, Scouts, YMCA, AFS, corporates such as Accenture, SAP, Unilever, governments across the world, Kenya, India, Netherlands, so many others. It's part of our DNA and a means to ensuring a rich and diverse perspective in solving global issues. So in conclusion, our pledge on this day and every day is to march forward with young people, co-authoring a narrative that is not just greener, but also brighter, more inclusive, and more profoundly hopeful. The seeds of change are sown, so I invite every one of us here today to nurture them together.
Thank you, Hannah. Next, I would like to give the floor to our youth feminist from Nigeria, Mr. William from White Champion Foundation.
Yeah. You know, I founded Voice Champions to increase access for opportunities, you know, for young people in Nigeria and, you know, to also end violence against women and girls. So I'm not just representing young people here, but I'm also representing women and girls as well. So. Thank you. As we approach halfway point into 2030, the urgency to uphold the 2030 agenda for sustainable development has never been greater. Failing to act decisively at this point will lead to irreparable damage to our planet, especially. In Nigeria, where I come from, we're constantly seeing the devastating effects of climate change, from increasing floods to droughts, you know, coastal erosion. These changes are having a profound impact on the lives of people, especially women, girls, and children, and then also young people with disabilities. This is almost the same globally, but there is hope. I believe that we can turn these challenges into an opportunity if we empower the young people who stay here with green skills and give them the opportunities to address this challenge. To me, we as young people understand these problems better because these problems actually impact us. Our futures are at stake here. We're also poised with the sustainability, people skills, and technology to solve this problem. Thus, our voices and actions are crucial in pushing for global reforms to mitigate the challenges posed by climate change. As a youth myself, like I said earlier, I represent the voices of the hundreds of young people in this room, and 1.2 billion young people globally. And I would like to say that climate change is a crucial battle for us as young people because it impacts and shapes our future. As we hone these green skills, we require all the support from our leaders. We cannot do this on our own. We have the skills, yes, but we do not have the systems. We do not also have the finances. I am glad that our leaders are listening to us here. So we were super here before we took over. As we navigate these complex global challenges, it is essential to recognize the unique perspectives and ideas and energy that young people bring to the table. We are tired of just sitting down here to talk. We are right now demanding actions. And we need to be part of We need to be part of those decision-making processes. Consult us, but also give us the opportunities to follow through to the execution of these ideas. By actively engaging us in shaping the policies and initiatives that affect our future, we can tap into our creativity, innovation, and passion, ultimately fostering inclusive societies and sustainable world. And for our young people, my fellow young leaders, as we continue to make this remarkable impact on the planet, please prioritize self-care and find your community. And I'm very grateful to AFS for building this great platform where we can connect with people like us who share vision, share ideas. This community are your collaborators. Changing the world and building a sustainable world is difficult to do that alone. But together we can make it happen. Having said this, I want to invite all of us to just think on the good thing. Just hold the hand of your neighbor just where you're sitting. Just raise it. This is what
next, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Amir Nassim from the International Organization on Migration and United Nations.
Hello everybody here and also online. So I am glad to be here today with you all and also answering or speaking about how we as
IOM, the International Organization for Migration, how we perceive the connection between green skills and migration. I'm a young person myself, who migrate myself, so this is a great opportunity, and I'm very happy to be here. So, in congruence with the United Nations, IOM recognizes that green skills encompass far more than just a set of technical skills. Green skills are also a philosophy embodying knowledge, values, and attitudes needed to live in, develop, and support a sustainable and resource-efficient society. Building on this understanding, we recognize green skills as a tool for empowerment and resilience building among migrants. So, how can green skills help address the challenges posed by climate-induced migration? In the interest of time, I will only mention 3 areas in which green skills can help address the challenges. These are 1. Adaptation and mitigation, 2. Job creation, and 3. Poverty alleviation. On the first one, adaptation and mitigation. Green skills can be harnessed by migrants in their countries of origin to address environmental challenges locally, thereby reducing the drivers of climate-induced migration. On the second point, green skills can create jobs and can help migrants contribute to their host countries' green initiatives, helping them become active participants in their new societies. On the third point, by providing green skills training to these vulnerable populations, we can help break the cycle of poverty and reduce the need for people to migrate for survival. As a final comment, I want to draw attention to the fact that migrants with green skills are in the middle of climate action and at the front lines of the climate emergency. Their skills will not only help them access better jobs and fill in labor gaps, but also make them, in practice, the first line of defense against climate change. Therefore, it is of utmost importance to center their voices in this conversation. And while green skills are relevant for people of all ages, they have heightened importance for younger people who are leading climate action, building resilience in their communities, and making migration an effective adaptation measure because of their innovativeness, inspiration for a greener future, and the ability to mobilize others.
Thank you, Amira. Next, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Amanda Sugar.
Good evening, trailblazing youth. Today we celebrate International Youth Day and the importance of investing in young people for a green transition. Tapping into the potential of youth will be transformative for our planet and our economy. Today the world has millions of young people all around the world eager to join a workforce that is dedicated to the sustainable development goals and actually helping our communities. Green skills will help to fill this growing need and growing number of exciting green jobs, but also will allow young people to make any job a green job. With millions of new jobs in clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and green finance and more beginning to emerge, we have an opportunity to solve a global youth employment crisis. Investing in youth and access to green skills is in every country and every industry's best interest. We have great planetary challenges before us, but also many opportunities to create an economy for us all. We must be strategic about our support for this transformation by investing in jobs and skills trainings that no one is left behind. According to UNICEF and General Unlimited, 27% of youth cited a lack of education as a top barrier to obtaining green jobs. Right across the river from the UN headquarters in New York is New Jersey. New Jersey is the first state in the nation to mandate that climate change be taught in all grade levels and in most subjects. States and many countries will follow this example. Partnerships are essential to upskilling youth. We need those who are generating green jobs to invest in young people, especially when millions of jobs are in industries that are dependent upon stable ecosystems. At the Hudson County Improvement Authority, where I work, we partnered with 4-H, universities, and local community groups to create the Sustainability Ambassadors Program and Junior Master Composter Program for high school students to learn from those in the field and about how to put the SDGs into action. These programs are meant for equipping young people with skills they can use in their careers in the future, but we also need them today, which is why we give them resources they need to start making changes in their community as soon as the program is complete, so they can practice their new skills. Green skills are a way of helping young people envision themselves in a more sustainable world and makes us all more confident about our future. Upskilling youth is the key to accelerating a just and sustainable economy and will be one of our greatest contributions to current and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you. We are running a little over time, but don't worry, we will still take a question from many people. So if anyone has a question, please raise your hand. I will only be able to take one question, one or maybe two questions, and please make sure that you strictly be limited to the question only. Don't make any remark or a speech, and we try to answer that question in a limited time we have. I will see the young man who raised his hand first. Yes, you. Yes. Please wait for it to run and then you can raise the question.
Hello everyone. My question goes to Noel. I was greeting Faith from here. I love what you're doing, and I want to ask how you are currently integrating new innovations of climate change to the work that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
That was my question.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a very important question. So, climate change is really important, and climate education is what we really stress on in Nigeria because for those who are from Nigeria, we see the situation in the country. Last year we lost more than 3,000 people to flooding, and this year is predicted to be worse. And one of the issues is because there's a lack of climate education. Even our leaders, some of our leaders do not believe in the existence of climate change. I said that story to you last year, and I think I may just want to say that this year. Yeah. So one of our leaders who was actually contesting for a very prominent political position was asked during a campaign on his take on climate change, and he said that climate change is like a church rat that is eating communion in the church. Does anyone understand anything? So incoherent. So if our leaders do not even understand what climate change is and the impact it is having in our communities, then you can imagine the rest of the people. So what we have done at Forest Champions is also to incorporate that into our curriculum and to ensure that our young people are becoming more aware and also taking actions, to abate the climate effects in Nigeria. So they do that through workshops, through engaging some other engaging programs as well in different schools and communities where we stand. Thank you.
I will take one more question from that, and the furthest hand that I can see, yes, you stand up, I can see your hand. Turn for your microphone to turn right. No.
for the speech from everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Jonas, I'm from Brazil. And my specific question is about after the assembly, yeah? How can we bring those goals, those institutions, we connected and align internationally our visions, yeah? We can align our visions internationally and also bring to our local communities. How do you see it's happening, man?
So, my panelists think I can answer this and that. So I am the firm believer. When I say I'm representing AFS Agriculture Program and also the youth representative steering committee of the United Nations Department of Physical Education. We both believe in the action, and as our mentor Hava said, talk is cheap. Talk is absolutely cheap, so we really need to turn actions. We have to come with the ideas. After this assembly, Youth Assembly offers you a platform where you can, come forward with the project. You go in your community, you take action on your own, and then you come and tell us. Not just the AFS Youth Assembly, our Youth Representative Steering Committee keeps eye everywhere, social media, people reach us out, we reach people out who are doing great, and we contact them, we bring them in the fold, and there are many young people who are part of this assembly, and also they end up being the part of the Youth Representative Steering Committee as well. So this is an opportunity for all of you to, after this assembly, go home and take an action and report that action to the team of the AFS Youth Assembly, and you will see the magic. Thank you. So we are over time, and I would ask, so we're going to end this conversation with not a question. We're not taking any more questions. We're happy to answer your question after this panel. So we're going to end this panel with a very brief activity, and that is called the pledge and the call of action that the gentleman just asked about the action. So I would like you to scan this on your camera, and you will see a page pop. If you have opened this, you can see there is a pledge. We're going to read this pledge, but after the pledge, you're going to write your name, you're going to write your country's name and a specific action you want to take, and then you have to give us the consent that we can share your name and your country on a social media platform, and we will definitely share some good of the actions. But before we can end this conversation, you have to repeat after me what it is there written. So we know we are absolutely doing this when we go home. So you have to all repeat after me, pay attention, and read. You can read it there. I stand united with my fellow delegates and you across the globe. Please repeat.
I stand united with my fellow delegates and the youth across the globe.
On this International Youth Day.
On this International Youth Day.
Recognizing the immense potential and resilience that we, the youth, embody. I hereby commit to actively participate in my community to foster development, peace and environmental stewardship, share sustainability principles and green skills, spreading knowledge and awareness. Support and inspire my peers, encouraging them to actively shape a better future. so much. I would like to invite my colleagues to come on the stage to allow them for
You are a true inspiration for all of us today here in the room. Thank you. A big round of applause for them again. Now, I have the honor of calling upon Mr. Darrell Rothray, who's seated at the dais. Please welcome him. Next, we will hear keynote remarks from Ms. Oded Buchamoy, CEO of Heidi Buchamoy Group and the 2015 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet, with a video remark. Please welcome her.
Greetings and thank you, President Daniel of AFS and the International Programs for the opportunity to be part of this important event. It's indeed my privilege and pleasure to be addressing you in my capacity of a Nobel Peace Prize laureate as a business leader and a Tunisian citizen committed to empowering young men and women everywhere and enabling them to address the environmental, political, economic, and social challenges facing our world today. These challenges, such as underdevelopment, poverty, exclusion, employment, gender inequalities, ignorance, social tensions, conflicts, pandemics, and environmental degradation, are both local and global, and serve as very minds of the prominence of issues related to mutual understanding, tolerance, education, and peace, and of the extent to which they are intertwined. In such an endeavor, nothing beats the realization that we are all in this together, bound by a common destiny. We start digging in the right direction when we realize that we share the same yearning for freedom, equality, and the pursuit of better life, and we come to grips with the fact that some of our local concerns stem from global trends we can only address together. And this is where the philosophy and exchange programs practiced by the AFS network is drawing its crucial importance. By being anchored around the values of education, tolerance, and openness, AFS programs create opportunities for young people to meet and engage in action which consecrate these values and contribute to achieving a breakthrough for a brighter future. My experience with the other three members of the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet proves that, despite obvious differences in outlooks and approaches, it is possible to find common ground towards the common objective for the benefit of all. We need to create bonds of friendship beyond our frontiers, while celebrating our identities and diversity. It is also imperative to project a global perspective in educating our youth on how to become real world citizens. Thanks to dialogue, to what the others to say, and to a common desire to transcend our differences, young people, as the leaders of tomorrow, can make a significant impact on today's world. From small acts such as cleaning
a crucial role to play. So I take this opportunity to tell our world youth, go ahead, claim your future today, get involved, arm yourselves with the necessary skills of global citizenship, and become agents of change and ambassadors of peace. The road towards a better world is by no means easy and free of obstacles. But the process has already been hard. Many global institutions, and most notably the United Nations, have already laid down the groundwork for pursuing this lofty goal in the form of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Others, such as the AFS report, have opted for the unique and most effective approach of sharing lives and building from bonds through a full immersion, life-changing experience. Finally, I retain thanks to AFS for its kind invitation and commend the Youth Assembly for its initiative. To all of you, good luck and Godspeed.
It is amazing to get to hear from such extraordinary people like her. For our last and one of the most important people in the room tonight, I want to welcome Mr. Darrell Rattray, Deputy Commissioner for Strategic Partnerships of the Department of Youth and Community Development, joining us on behalf of the New York City Mayor Eric Adams and Commissioner Keith Howard. I invite you to first make your remarks and then proceed with the forwarding of the mayor proclamation to Mr. Daniel Oates. Sir.
I was outside online and with some of you, and just getting inspired. All that positive energy people bringing, interacting with each other, knowing why you are here. And now I walked up to you, and I looked out, you guys don't see yourselves. And how powerful you are. And how changing you are. My name is Darrell Rattray, and I'm the Deputy Commissioner of Strategic Partnerships at the New York City Department of Youth and Community Development. On behalf of our Mayor, Mayor Eric Adams, and our Commissioner, Commissioner Keith Howard, I want to welcome all of you to our great city, New York City, and say Happy International Youth Day. Woo! You have shown great leadership, passion, commitment, and alignment in making positive change in your spaces and the world around you. We congratulate you for that commitment and for your journey that got you here. In all of the work that we do across New York City, our programs and services for our children and young adults are all designed to provide safe environments that support academic achievement, enhance social skills, and cultivate youth leadership and civic engagement. As the government agency funding nonprofits across the city to provide these services, we are sure to give our funding partners the resources to connect to neighborhoods and provide opportunities that matter. I am proud to let you know about one of these examples that connects back to the Sustainable Development Goals. Through the Mayor's vision and commitment, this summer we have 100,000 young adults ages 14 to 24 working in our city youth training program. Those are placing employers across all sectors, including healthcare, finance, tech, green jobs, government, nonprofit, and many others. They are receiving expanded financial literacy curriculum, career readiness workshops, mindfulness, pre-employment, and life skills training. We are also sure to prioritize opportunities for our most vulnerable and underserved members. For instance, this year we started a program called SYP Pride, which offers LGBTQ+ youth additional programming to enhance their career exploration and professional learning while connecting them to diverse websites that offer them opportunities to be supported by LGBTQ+ employees and allies. Across the entire SYP system, all 100,000 of our young adults are receiving a real work experience and will be part of their foundation. Of course, there's a check. As our young people grow and develop and build their self-efficacy, it's important for them to connect with their neighborhoods. We often let them know that your network is larger than the street you live on or the world you live in. Your network should span across the city. It should be nationwide. It should be global. New York City is the most diverse city in the world, and there's so much that can be learned from your neighbors. As a solution to help cultivate our city's diversity and connect New Yorkers, Mayor Adams created the Breaking Bread Building Bonds Initiative. It allows New Yorkers to come together to learn about their common bonds, share cultures and traditions, and break down silos between communities. The program unites New Yorkers, regardless of their background, to build understanding and aid in ending bias, hate, and discrimination simply through meals and conversation. This is when true change happens, when you see yourself as part of the entire world around you, and you recognize your role in being a contributor and connector to positive change. We have so many examples across New York City where young adults stepping up to make positive changes, whether they are trying to prevent gun violence or working to ensure their communities have healthy food options. We find our young adults activated with selfless causes to help those around them and make their communities better. We celebrate. Over the next few days in our great city, you all are going to be participating in workshops, trainings, and opportunities that will help you define and refine your personal brand. Your personal brand is how you show up, your reputation, your values, and how you want others to receive you personally and professionally. Included in your brand must be goals that promote doing everything you can to support those most in need. Whether you are doing something positive for your street, for your city, or for your country, never forget that we are all connected and that you are global citizens. Our responsibilities are not easy, but together we can and will make a difference. While you are in New York City, please be sure to grab a slice of pizza and go walking tonight. Thank you for your time. Now, therefore, I, Eric Adams, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Friday, August 11, 2023, in the City of New York as AFS Youth Facility Day.
tomorrow at the AFS Youth Assembly. I will ask you to hold your applause until I call out all the finalists' names, and they will also rise when I call them out, just for the sake of time. So first, I'd like to call Olampiso Nkumu. Provides technical education in software engineering and product design to young Nigerian women. Next, I'd like to call upon Khalid Abdul Wahid, along with his whole team, to provide Syrian refugees and IDPs with safe, long-term housing. Okay, we're going to go to the third finalist, Elon Edberga, who has created effective education for sustainable development for schools in the Philippines. Zemswap, who aims to tackle energy poverty by increasing access to solar power in Cameroon. For her project, which diverts e-waste from going into landfills, supporting low-income households with refurbished devices in Rwanda. Norman Cook for his project with a goal to create a greener and more so much. These amazing youth are tackling SDGs from across the spectrum. We thank you for making a true difference in the world through your meaningful work. And best of luck tomorrow. While we are racing against time, we have gathered today to recognize the achievements of youth. There is much to do to pave forward our way to a sustainable world, a future for all of us and our future generations. Today marks the start of an inspiring journey, which will present numerous opportunities to learn, connect, and take action for impact. Kicking off the 28th AFS Youth Assembly starting tomorrow at the Cooking Center. We hope to see many of you there, and I want to thank everyone who has joined us today, distinguished speakers, and all of you who have an amazing, amazing audience. Thank you for joining us here tonight, and happy International Youth Day.
Hola, mamá.